Once upon a time, not too long ago.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Mack Brothers Podcast, featuring Matthew and John. John, how are you? John, did you leave? All right, hold on. All right, John disappeared, but we got John back. John, you didn't miss much. How are you? What's going on? Tell the people what's going on.
Ankle's still broken, still hurts, still in some pain. I realized today I was like, I'm in like or yesterday really. Today hasn't been too bad, but yesterday I was like, I'm in some pain. I'm in some actual pain. It's like kind of shooting up my ankle a little bit, and then I was like, this is not good. And then I remembered that it was the first day I haven't taken any Tylenol or Motrin.
Oh, I live on painkillers, man. Whatever I can get my hands on at this point.
Yeah, they
No,
offered
I don't
me
even have any broken ankles.
they offered
now.
me free access to the opium den, and I turned it down.
Well, that's because you're a man of principle. That's why you turned it down. I don't blame you. Say no to drugs, but you know what you should say yes to? You should say yes to our new single, Demons and Desires. It's out everywhere. You can stream it. You can find it in a local stream. You can't get it on CD because we sold out of CDs. We sold out. There's none left. We sold out of cassettes. We even made an exclusive VCR version of the songs, and they're all sold out too. So the only way you can listen to it now is if you stream it, which you should know how to do that already. But if you don't, you go to Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube, and it's there.
We pop up on the Google too. If you could just Google the Mack Brothers, we're literally the first thing that pops up.
We're on the Google. Yeah, we are on the Google.
We're the most Googleable Mack Brothers.
We are. We're definitely the most Googleable. Google. Maybe we should say we're the most googly as well.
We get a little googly as well.
We definitely get a little googly. So, John, fun story. The government's about to shut down on Sunday.
I know.
Isn't it crazy?
I know I would assume they're furloughing all their workers, right?
Yeah. No one's getting paid. All the
Unbelievable.
people, the federal government's the largest employer in the country, and they're going to shut down, and all of those employees aren't going to get paid. But you know who is going to get paid? All of the Ukrainian government employees, because we made a side deal to keep funding their government. So there's even going to be certain military contractors that aren't going to get paid in America, but the Ukrainian military is going to get paid. So like we're paying for their military when our military is not even getting paid. Ain't that insane?
What is it? What can't they decide on?
The government?
Yeah, why?
Well, there's hardline Republicans are holding up the budget because they want to pass more cuts for more entitlement cuts. So like say you're a low income family, they want to cut your ability to get social services even further. Because Biden let all the pandemic social net things expire, which was a big slash to a lot of people. And now they're hardline Republicans want to cut even more. I think it's great. I think all the poors, myself included, I think we should be living on the streets. I can't wait to have to live in a tent.
Yeah, and then they'll blame the governors for not housing them.
Oh, John, hold on. I'm getting a very important business phone call.
Yep.
We're back, everyone. Sorry, I just had to handle some highly sensitive business. I always handle a business.
I do want to say it's absolutely so selfish of these fucks, that there's the whole government shutting down. It's unbelievable. It's putting so many people out of work and that aren't going to get paid. Um, my woman included, and it's really like absolutely disgusting.
I didn't realize that she worked for the federal government. I thought she worked for the state government.
No, she's all I know is that I don't know which one she does work for, but she's getting shut down. Like she already
That's
knows it.
insane. That's insane. And Some
Yeah,
of
it's,
uh some of my partner's coworkers as well. People she works directly with.
fucking terrible.
The off with no and what people need to understand too is it's not like these are all rich people that are getting affected by this. Most of them are making less than 50, 60 a year,
Yeah.
and they're living paycheck to paycheck and they need their money to survive. It's not like, they're all, rich, high level Washington government employees. It's like they're just normal people.
They
So
just
it's
don't
very selfish.
it's are a lot of the elected officials just do not care about anybody but their own self-interest and making sure that their pockets stay lined. Um, even the Ukraine war, it's like so absurd. That I mean, literally, how many billions has it been so far that we've given them?
I don't even know. I mean, it's probably half a trillion at this point. I don't know what we've given them in total aid, but this is just it's a situation that's an ongoing situation. Like it's been a problem. Ukraine's always been a important piece of land. Always. It's the breadbasket of Europe, they call it. It's always been a hotly contested area. And since the USSR collapsed in 91, NATO's policy has been encroachment towards Russia, which, from a NATO point of view, if you're looking at Russia like, oh, they're going to destroy the world again, then, I mean, it's such a weird, I don't know. It's so hard to really say like where things stand because there's so much propaganda from both sides. So it's hard to be like, well, what's true? But one thing you know is true is that like we really shouldn't be putting as much into Ukraine as we are, considering the state of where our country is.
Yeah.
Like we don't focus on domestic issues at all.
Mm-mm.
Like it's so much money goes to Ukraine. It's like, what? Speaking, dude, what about the I saw it all over social media, and now that I'm down in North Carolina, I'm a little bit more like separated from it. What about all the fucking looting, dude?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was
How crazy is that?
that's
This is
a
what
like
happens when you have a bunch of people that aren't making no money. They have no life, no jobs,
yeah.
nothing to look forward to, and it's just them that doesn't care about them. Just more and more of this shit's gonna happen, and then you have these culture war nuts that are racist that want to make it a race thing and not
Mm.
there's a lot of factors involved, but it's like, if you want to find a real way to stop these kinds of things, how about trying to like make people live better lives?
I seen a meme that it was like or someone tweeted where are all the white people looting, and then someone retweeted it and said oh, here they are, and it was like a like a news clip that said bankers still getting paid as government shuts down or something like that. Like it was like
Exactly.
it's like the reason is greed for all. I mean, it's like you're still gonna, of course, you're gonna have. There's a sector of um like if you get 100 Americans, two of them are probably going to be bad people, and it
Yeah,
don't matter what color they are, where they're some people. But if you give people way better opportunities, not way better, people still got to hustle, but you give people better opportunities. When people are sick, you give them fucking free health care. You know what I mean? Um, we wouldn't see nearly as many
mandatory paid
things.
vacations.
Yeah.
People should have mandatory paid leave.
I
There
didn't
should
know
be
that was a real thing.
mandatory. There should,
That's
yeah.
something-
Other
something-
countries mandate like 4 to 6 weeks, and
Oh, wow.
and other countries mandate that like some maternity leave in other countries is just way better, way
Mm.
better. And some countries actually have paternity leave laws. And in the United States, you just got to be lucky. Like, hopefully, your employer offers all of it. And it's insane. Like, all these things are really popular. But the problem is that, take Bank of America, right? Bank of America would have to pay way more money if the government mandated all their employees to have 4 to 6 weeks of paid vacation, paid sick policy, all that stuff. So their current financial setup for them, they're maximizing through capitalism, they're maximizing how much profit they can generate. And then they feed it into buybacks to inflate their own stock value. And that's how you get, these 7 or 8 tech stocks that are holding up the whole stock market. The actual S&P 500, if you go to the S&P 492, which is minus the top 8 stocks, is actually down 0.1% this year.
I know because I just recently invested in Vanguard, and
You ain't getting no returns until like 2027.
I have a couple of different like smaller investments, but I put like a bigger lump sum into Vanguard, and now it's like it's fucking down.
Yeah, no, that's what you're going to see. I mean, that's why investing is a long game, because there's
Yeah.
dips in the economy, but it's just like it's so insane. The whole stock market is being held up by like Apple, Google, Meta, all those Tesla, all the big tech stocks, and most of it is with the promise of AI being able to basically decrease payrolls and slash jobs around the country. So a lot of these investors are trying to get in now, and that's why you see those stocks shooting up so high.
Yeah.
But it's a giant bubble. I mean, the housing market's terrible. That's why like a lot of the Biden stuff's so tone deaf, because most people aren't like, inflation is so, it's not tracked correctly, and it's so out of control in certain areas. Like, no one can afford, like, the average used car payment in the country is like over $500 right now for a used car. Like,
Oh, I actually seen that number. That's insane. Yeah.
and as someone who's just looking for cars and shit, that's a giant financial burden. On top of the fact that most people that are in our age range and category, not most people, but a lot of people, are starting federal student loan payments again, and student loan payments in general. And it's like, you can't, how are you, and then you can't go buy a house.
You can't breathe. These people can't breathe.
It's insane. It's crazy. It's insane how, and then it's just free market capitalism going bananas.
Yeah.
Going bananas.
Banana.
Remember that video? We got to dig that up.
You know what I was just thinking about the other day?
Bananas.
Remember the Dora the Explorer edits that we would watch in David's house?
Oh man, those are funny.
Where they would like, you remember they would chop up an episode, and they would like insert like some Jack Black like Tenacious D lines, and like, but my favorite was when the Dora went to go visit her grandmother, and she said thanks grandma or whatever, and the grandma goes de nada, and then whoever the guy edited de nada, de nada, de nada, and then like that shit made me laugh so hard.
This is why the government's going for a shutdown, because they're having the same kind of conversations we are.
Yeah.
And they're like, we need to fix the car market. And then the one guy's like, yo, you got to see this funny ass Dora the Explorer video from 15 years ago. And then the whole Senate reconvenes like, all right, well, we're going to go take a month off. Mitch is freezing up anyway.
Don't they only work like 3 days a week?
Well, I mean, that's if they're even like working.
I hate the government, man.
Everybody does. No one likes them.
No one trusts them. No one's having fun. No one's
That's why you
having
gotta
fun.
that's why you gotta put me in there.
Who has fun anymore?
I have lots of fun. That's what my slogan's gonna be. Put the
You
fun
know,
back in government.
today I get stuck behind a train on the way home after working 10 hours on a broken ankle. So I think to myself,
Were you walking home too?
yeah, walking home 17 miles. Um
Sad.
it's raining. I got like a back like a stick with like a bag on it.
Oh yeah. It's like all your stuff.
Yeah. But so I'm stuck behind a like 12 cars and a train that just started. So I go to make a left and I drive a couple blocks and I see this gorgeous little area, and for a second I go, this is a lovely little area that I didn't know about. It was a surprise. I don't get surprised. I got excited. And then I make a right to go home, and then I realize everyone came this way that knows the area, and the only way through, and you're going underneath the trains now, like a bridge. The only way through is a one-way bridge that's supposed to go two ways. So now everyone has to take turns, and it's a blind tunnel. That's only that. So you have to beep your horn constantly to get through. And I was behind maybe 15 cars now, and there was about 12 cars on the other side that are coming the other way, and it's a one-way tunnel. And now I'm just sitting there, fucking miserable, fucking, and then like an idiot, my horn's broken because I bought a used car, which is a piece of shit. So it's going.
I didn't realize the horn. So wait, it's really loud or it doesn't work at all?
It sounds like we put like it in through a distortion pedal. It's like brrr, brrr, like that.
I love it. I love the broken, distorted horn.
Oh wait, and then right before it's my turn to go under this miserable tunnel, the fucking end of the trains go by. So I probably would have saved time if I just waited in the fucking first line. But
you know what, John? That's a classic John story.
Yeah,
especially the broken horn. I'm so happy your horn is distorted and too loud.
It's really like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it's like a normal horn through like a distortion pedal.
I mean, it's like the horn of a rock star. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, the Rolling Stones put out a new album. Cockney Diamonds.
I seen they put out a new song. They put out a whole new album.
Yeah.
Do you
we should
think
review their new song soon?
Let's put the new song on the Monday Mack coming up. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think it's angry. Don't get angry with me.
I didn't, maybe let's pick another one from the album because I think that song's probably like a 5.2 out of 10.
I mean, I'd give it like a 6. I wouldn't give it like a 5. I mean, like it's compared to what we review all the time. I think if you listen to a lot of Rolling Stones though, I don't like the Rolling Stones they don't have really any ones, but they have a lot of between 4s and 6s. They have like hundreds of 5s and 6s.
Like a
for songs.
Treasure trove of 5.2s.
Of mediocre blues country songs.
Yeah.
And then they have like Miss You, and you're like, oh shit, this is a great song. At least,
I think if you averaged it out at every album, because they put out a lot of albums.
They have a lot of music, yeah.
What would you say the above 7s are? Do you think it's like 2.5 an album? On average?
I think on average it's like 3. There's like 3 7s an album. But then you have like certain albums that have more, and certain albums that have less. But if you go on average.
Some Girls, I fucking love Some Girls, that album.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that album. Exile on Main Street is a fucking banger. I'm trying to think. But then even that, and there's so many that just have, I would say 2.5, but I want to start a new segment.
Cockney Diamonds.
Rising Stars of the Week.
Rising Star says it's just any new art, any person we discover that we like.
Anybody, and I think we pick one person at a time.
Do you want to do it on the pod or you want to do it on Monday Mack?
We're gonna do it on the podcast.
I think that's a great idea.
I also had an idea.
Are we starting it this week? Are we starting it
I-
next week?
I think we'll start it next week, but now you know about it.
Now I know about it. I'm excited.
I
For
already
this.
have mine, and it's an I don't think they're underground, but they're definitely.
I have mine, and I'm gonna
don't
do
know.
it. Are we talking about the beaches or beaches?
No, but they did have some good music, but no.
Well, I have
This-
an very underground up and coming artist that you don't know about.
Is it
This
like Ed Sheeran?
No, it's a solo R&B singer that I really like.
Well, save it. And it doesn't have to be music.
Can
It
I
could
give you a
be-
sneak peek?
Sure.
It's Brian McKnight.
Whoa, you're like a dream come true. Is that him?
Yeah, I fucking love that song.
See, Usher's doing the Super
You know
Bowl?
what's crazy? I've been getting into some easy listening. I've been definitely getting into easy listening. When you're doing things around the house, it's fun to listen to easy listening.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you mix a lot of, like, if you're working on music all day and you're mixing all day, just to have like a really, really nicely warm EQ'd song that's like really soft, like really, really gentle hi-hats and like soothing tones. It's nice, especially because our music's a little rough sometimes.
I'm with you.
What were you gonna say? Were you gonna say something about Celine Dion?
No, but I think before I was going to say something about did you see the Republican debates last night?
I didn't see any of it. I saw that jerk off Chris Christie said something about, he called him Donald Duck or something like that, which is like the
What is-
cheesiest line ever.
Yeah, like, but you know what though? If Donald Trump, like, it's about how you say it. Like his delivery was so shoehorned.
His delivery
know?
was like, I just said something I shouldn't have said. It's
He was
funny.
practicing that line for weeks. The glory of, even though, not the glory, but I guess the glory. The reason why Trump, it always sounds so off the cuff. It's always like he's just freestyling. That's why he says dumb things constantly, because he don't follow what his people are telling him to say. And
one out of like 10 things land, but when they land,
oh my God. Well, even the things that aren't like the when he said did you see him saying about the windmills are killing the whales?
oh my God, you see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You never see it. Now you're seeing it.
Yes. He's the front runner. He's beating Biden right now.
Yeah.
He's the front runner for president.
next year. That's so great.
There's so many bad problems, and you have Whale Man as our president. It's the windmills. I was looking at Libby, my dog, today.
I'm sorry. Listen, real quick. I like a poll of Republicans got asked who's the most God-fearing Republican candidate, and Trump came number one.
Trump came number one.
Right, he was like 38%.
There's got to be something to be said about anyone that like likes some of these politicians, and that would rank anyone in that kind of poll. Like anyone that actually walks around and thinks like, man, Trump's a man of God. Like, how could you convince yourself to believe that?
If you think any of them, and it's not about being righteous, but if you think about any of them, who believes the most, and like you say Trump, you just don't know. You don't know a hole from your asshole, or what's that expression? You don't know your hole in the ground.
Yeah. He was on Fox News like when he first announced his candidacy in like 2015 or whatever it was, And they're like, "What books do you like to read?" He goes, "The Bible's my favorite book." And they say, "What's your favorite passage?" And he said, "That's personal. I'm not getting into that."
So
I think politicians underestimate that you really could just say anything. Like you could just shamelessly pander all you want. Like that's what the game is. Look at Gavin Newsom. I want Gavin Newsom to run because I like there's certain something I like about like if you're an establishment politician, which Joe Biden is an establishment politician, and so is Obama, very, very establishment politicians. I like when they're kind of like dickheads because I
yeah.
already know what they are. So at least be what you are, like Bill Clinton. Like Gavin Newsom reminds me a little bit of Bill Clinton. He's good though.
I don't know
He
enough
should have been.
about.
He should have ran for president. I think he should have ran for president. And I mean, but the DNC, you know, they're like borderline fascists. It's insane the way they
Yeah,
control
but
everything. And
don't you think the DNC would like him?
yeah, they would. I think there's a reason he didn't run. I don't know why. Maybe somebody told him not to in the DNC.
And it's they're so protective of Biden. Like for fucking what? There's other people that could run that would be just as establishment, and they wouldn't mumble their fucking words.
Dude,
Why are
listen,
you so protective of him?
I've been dying for Amy Klobuchar to get in the race. Dying or Mayor Pete. I just want them to I want them to get in the race so bad. I need a little bit of my fake Obama.
Yeah, they all. I mean, look, they all fucking stink on ice. But
I like their Republican guy Vivek Ramaswamy that both of his parents are immigrants and he has birthright citizenship and he wants to ban birthright citizenship.
I know I've seen that. Yeah, what a fucking clown.
Like what?
They're everyone on that stage. They were talking over each other. It was such a hot mess that it was like you couldn't watch it. And the questions were terrible too, because they were asking them shit that they all kind of agree with on, you know. So then they just personally attack each other. And none of them are Trump, and none of them are like, you know how Bernie's very like Bernie never really attacked anybody, but
I don't want to be disrespectful.
yeah. But you know, but none of them have that.
Your haircut is terrible.
All of them just were it was just a mess. Nothing was cohesive at all. And that's it's just the fact that it's Biden versus Trump again is so depressing.
Yeah, I was rooting for Nikki Haley. I was rooting for a Nikki Haley Kamala Harris matchup if I was going to be honest with you.
God
And then I
almighty.
think Kamala should have picked Hillary as her VP, and we could have had the most unlikable. And Sarah Palin could have been, Nikki Haley's VP. We got the most unlikable women in politics face off. Like Amy Klobuchar could have been whatever the number 3 is, the chief of staff.
I would take Katie Porter over almost any male too.
Well, you're picking good politics. I'm not picking good. I'm picking terrible politicians. You got to pick someone even worse.
Well, fucking Marianne Williamson.
I love Marianne Williamson, and I love I like all the people that are
No,
Democrat, and I love Cornel West. He's third party, but I love him. He takes away a lot of votes from Trump too.
I think. Oh, I don't think so, but I think that
RFK takes a lot of votes away from Trump.
yeah, if I was a person of stature, and I was a establishment.
I want to just let everyone know that John is 2 feet tall.
Yeah,
He's talking about his height.
if I was a big boy, and I had a lot of money, I would put it behind RFK, because when he wants to take he says he wants to take money out of politics or whatever, but he does have like corporate PACs that promote him and give him money, and he takes the money, and you know, the vaccine shit's weird, but that's like the smallest. I'm not worried about that because I don't think he's going to get rid of it. He's going to be still middle, but like a real middle, not as progressive as I would like, but if I had to pick somebody to put money behind that I think has a better chance than like Marianne Williamson, they're not going to vote for her because even though she's better than anyone else running, she looks like a hippy dippy like space cadet.
She comes off too much like a wine liberal.
Yeah, and that's the look that she has, and that's the vibe that everyone gets. And it shouldn't matter, but it does. So she's out. Cornel West, he's not running as a Democrat. So like most people aren't going to vote third party for him. Someone would have to go over to third party that's more, like maybe Bernie would have had a better chance just because he had a better campaign in 2016. But like I love Cornel West. He's not going to win.
He has the best. I think he has the best policies out of all the candidates running. Cornel West.
I agree, but he's not going. We said it before. We screamed it. Cornel West, like a couple podcasts ago. But his campaign fucking disappeared. He did like some interviews.
He's picketing. He was on the front lines with the United Auto Workers. But a lot of that, the reason why his campaign disappeared, it's not because his campaign's active. It's because the people that cover his campaign are like whatever the sources of information that you gather from. I'm not saying you specifically, but the country mostly looks towards, or however you would build momentum, are corporate controlled, and they're never going to let someone like him, they're going to use the algorithm against them and all sorts of stuff. Like Instagram is not going to, they're going to deplatform, they're going to ghost him algorithm wise, and they're not going to let his stuff gain as much traction. I mean, that's the way the game is played now. You need someone like you're saying, like there needs to be someone that comes along who is like a Gavin Newsom. People don't understand about like FDR and Teddy Roosevelt and all them is they knew how to play politics.
Yeah.
And you need to know how to play politics in order to get your shit in, basically. So you need to be able to knock these people out. You need to be very versatile. And you also need to be in control of the conversation. And that's what Trump controls the conversation.
Well, I think besides the vaccine shit, the biggest knock on RFK is in all actuality, like when you hear him talk, he's fucking hard to listen to until he gets going. You know what I mean?
That's because I have the thing with my voice, and I actually saw a doctor in Japan about it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it shouldn't matter, but it's going to matter. He's going to get talked over in a debate unless it's against Biden, which Biden might not be able to speak at all at this point.
He legitimately, I cannot imagine him. I can't imagine him debating next year. I just can't.
Didn't he already say he's not?
Well, that's in the primary. I'm talking about presidential. If he's the nominee,
yeah, he's gonna have to talk.
He's gonna have. I mean, or are they gonna have no presidential debates? Like, that would be insane. And the only reason they wouldn't have presidential debates is because everyone's too old now. They're too old to stand up for 2 hours.
I could see a world where they fucking don't do it this next year.
Ain't it crazy? Our president might not be able to stand up straight for 2 hours on his own without drugs.
Yeah.
He might not be able to stand up.
I can't right now either, though.
Yeah, but you have a broken foot.
Yeah.
I do too, Jack.
It's just a sad.
Let's go get some ice cream.
My finish my point on RFK Jr. is that he by far, even with Biden's corporate stranglehold on all the big companies, I hear more about him than any other candidate. Like he is all over the place. He's going on Theo Von. He's going on Rogan. He's going on like fucking The Breakfast Club. He
goes everywhere. He does.
And he's doing as much as possible. His wife is Cheryl Hines, who's from
she's in the thing I know her. Yeah, thing I know her from the most is Curb.
So and he's using her connections too to get to different famous people. Eric Clapton's playing fucking his concerts. You know what I mean? Like
you know what he has going for him too, John? He's a Kennedy.
He's a Kennedy.
He's a Kennedy. I mean, that's what he has going for him.
If he didn't have that speech impediment, he would be he would be way harder to keep down.
You know, politicians have overcame worse. I think there's so much recency bias for politics that people don't really think it. Like no one was thinking back in when Obama was in office, like, wow, everyone's so old because he was a younger president. But now
Yeah.
that, you know, his ancient vice president became president and is running again, Biden's so old that when he became VP, people were like, he's going to retire after the second term for him being VP. But he took 4 years off. Then he ran for president and is running again, which is
Well,
just
didn't
insane.
Obama gave him like the honor pin or whatever, and like that was supposed to be almost like a farewell in his working career.
I feel like they put him in, really, it was just a
Lifelong work. His lifelong work. Here's your congratulatory. Everyone was crying, and that was supposed to be it for him.
You know what? Real quick before we go, my hot take. I think Biden, his first 4 years, better president than Obama.
Yeah. I just think
he just doesn't seem like it
were-
because he can't walk or speak.
I think we were in a I don't know if we might have been in a little bit of a better world with Obama, but maybe it's just because of this. But
well, real quick, everyone,
Desires.
Demons Desires, our sponsor of the podcast is
Demons
League
and
Island Brewing Club.
League Island Brewing Club, Demons and Desires.
Demons and Desires. If
Here's
you're
my
feeling
foot.
demonic or desirable, the song is for you. If you like demons, if you talk to demons, if